Hi there, Karen Flaherty from Living by Human Design. Hope you're doing well today. Today, we're going to be talking about the gate 12 in human design weather, and the gate 12 is all about caution. Okay, so this week we've got the sun in gate 12, started midday on June 13th, and it goes until June 19th. And the earth is in the gate 11, which is called ideas. And so we've got caution coming off the throat, which is the gate 12 right here, and then the gate 11 up here coming off the bottom of the ajna. So 12 is in the conscious sun and 11 is in the conscious earth. And so we basically start the week with no gates defined. We're completely open. The 35 is gone, so we don't have the connection to the solar plexus anymore. So we're completely open and no centers are defined. But on the 18th, Mercury moves into the gate 35 again. And just because the conscious sun was there last week, this Mercury moves into 35 and creates that connection again, making us all manifestors or feel like manifestors, because we'll have the throat energy and that solar plexus energy. So that's 35 is connecting up to the gate 36, which is still in Neptune. And so it forms the 35-36 again, which is the channel of transitoriness. And so it's all about the change and the drama, and it's connected to the solar plexus, and you'll have voice energy. So a lot going on again. And that goes for probably about a week, because the 36 will stay in Neptune and the 35 will be there for, usually it's 6 or 7 days. So that will continue for the week. So we've got the sun in gate 12. It's called standstill or caution in the original I Ching. And it's the quality of restraint and the importance of meditation and inaction in confronting temptation. So this is really about, we do call it caution for a reason. It's about caution of your reputation. And so it is about restraint, keeping, kind of keeping close, colloquialism, keeping close to the vest, not basically spilling everything. And but it also talks about the importance of meditation and inaction in confronting temptation. So if you are tempted to be vain, let's say, or to be out there, or to be egotistical, this is a quality. The quality of caution will, help you to err on the side of being more quiet, not being on social media as much, for example, not being out there for all the world to see in a way that may not be good for your reputation. That's what it's all about. The caution is about your reputation. The caution is about what we see today. It used to be in the old days, you just had to be careful you didn't make the papers, or you didn't get your name in some police blog or something like that. Today, it's a lot easier to be out there and get caught doing something that somebody doesn't like. And so, in this age of political correctness, this caution really plays a big part. And so the more cautious you can be about your reputation, and at least, being mindful of what you're doing when you do confront temptation, to be perhaps more outspoken, or to be more in the limelight, or to, have a red carpet moment or 15 minutes of fame or something like that, you'll be able to, if you're being careful, you'll be able to decide if that's correct for you or not. And again, listening to your inner guidance, listening to your strategy and authority will help you to make that decision. In the incarnation crosses this week, we've got the cross of the Garden of Eden, caution, and education. In quantum human design, it's called the channel. And the reason it's called the channel is because one of the other pieces or aspects of the gate 12 is that some people who have it do tend to be good interpreters of the information that comes in as a channel. And the gate 11 is the gate of ideas. And I love this gate because it's all about peace or ideas in the original I Ching. It's a harmonic connection in the individual society that permits assessment before renewed action. So another one of those ones that's a mouthful, but it's a very harmonic, a very peaceful connection in society that permits figuring things out with the ideas that you've got before you take action, right? And the ideas and peace are intermingled here because the idea is or the concept is that these ideas will bring peace. And that's why I tend to like this one. But people who have the gate 11, they get a lot of ideas. And so I always suggest whether this gate is in, the transits or not, if you're getting a lot of ideas, be sure that you have a way to uh, uh, capture those so that it's either in a journal or on your phone, in notes, or somewhere where you're able to go back and sort through and find them and search the ideas that you've had, because you can't act on all ideas at once. And so you want to make sure that you're capturing those so that in the future or next week, when you might need those ideas, they're there for you, right? So that you're able to capture those and make the best use of them. But they don't have to be acted on immediately. That's a lot of people feel like, oh my gosh, I have another idea, I have another idea, I have another idea. That doesn't mean you have to do them all immediately. Just capture them and use them when it's the right timing. In the gene keys, obscurity is the shadow, idealism is the gift, and light is the CD. And in quantum human design, we call it the conceptualist. So in the gene key 12, the shadow here is vanity. And we'll talk about that in a second. The gift is discrimination, and the CD is purity. So basically, with the gene key 12, you're moving from vanity to discrimination and then up to purity. And so it can be quite a jump for some people from vanity to purity, because the vanity is about love of the self. The purity is about love of everyone, including yourself. So you can start with yourself and love yourself, but the vanity part, as its shadow, can be on the repressive side. It's the elitist. It's the fearful person who is vain, but really isolates themselves and doesn't want to be part of the rest of the group. Whereas the reactive side, where they're angry and vain, it can be malicious, where they're vain and cutting down other people. So, on the reactive side, so the repressive elitist person is probably just basically going to hide out and not be vain, have their successes and be very quiet about it, not be on social media. Whereas the reactive person, these are the people who are on social media, the trolls who are on social media, who are vain themselves and think that they have something to say to the rest of us, especially if it's anything to tear somebody down. And so that can be quite malicious. So the gift is discrimination. It's knowing when to be on social media and say something or not. And then the CD is the purity, where we're actually moving into a unity consciousness. We love everyone, including ourselves, but we don't put ourselves first. We can put others first, or at least do it in a group environment. On the graphic, Richard Rudd says, "Let love sing through you," because the entirety of the purity can sing through you when you're loving everyone, right? He also says vanity can choose the most beautiful of words, but it can never hide the frequency of its tone. So this is where we do get to discriminate, right? Between people who are vain and are saying the right things, right? Or saying them as if they do love everybody, but they don't really. And you can tell by their tone, you can tell by their actions, you can tell by the way that they're really acting. And especially when they do choose to tear other people down. And discrimination gives humanity a taste of a higher order operating behind the scenes of life. So that discrimination, where we can actually choose to be, to have an ego, to be proud of ourselves, to be vain at times, perhaps, but not to do it in a malicious way and not to do it in a hurtful way, right? It does give us a taste of a higher order of really operating at, as some people say, where we go high, they go low. and you get to choose how you want that to be perceived, how you want it to show up in your life, how you want other people to see you. So we've got a number of people born in the Sungate 12, including Sir Paul McCartney, who, gosh, I'm not sure exactly how old he is this year, but I think he's up to 84, if I'm not mistaken. Donald Trump is having a birthday. Steffi Graf, Lionel Richie, Chris Evans, Salman Rushdie, who basically has survived his unfortunate attack. When he was attacked on stage about a year ago, he has survived. He is out speaking again. So there's really not much that can keep him down. Courtney Cox, who is a manifester like Paul McCartney. People, as you can see, who are, some people who are minding their reputation, being cautious of their reputation, and since most of them probably have PR people anyway, they're cautious and minding the store, if you will, in terms of how they're portrayed in the public eye. Whereas some other people, and they aren't. And so you can, it's easy to see the difference when you start looking at it through the lens of people's reputations. So be cautious of yours. Be cautious of your reputation this week, if that feels right for you, or be out there. But if you're doing it in a way that's inclusive and helps everybody else and comes from a place of love, I'm sure it'll work out just fine. So have a great week, and I will talk to you next time. Be well.